So, Oscar season is upon us. For most of you, that doesn't mean anything, but for a sizable portion of America, the Academy Awards still provide much entertainment, even if it's in the form of cringe humor. I personally very much enjoy watching the Oscars, mostly to see the best films of the year truly get awarded with the recognition they deserve. That rarely actually happens, but it's nice to dream. So, these past couple years, the Oscars have been getting a lot of flack for the types of films they nominate. Too sad, too safe, too white, too Holocausty. All these arguments have merit, and once taken into consideration, it's interesting to see their correlation with movies nominated for Best Picture. And so that is what I want to do today. Examine the genres of movies that get nominated for Best Picture and compare them to each other, noting which genres get nominated the most. Before I start, let me lay down a few ground rules. First off, as I said previously in one of my videos, animation is not a genre, it is a medium, so we are not making it one of the available genres to pick from. That being said, 3 animated movies have been nominated for Best Picture, in case you are curious. Documentaries are eligible for Best Picture, however, none have ever been nominated, so we're just going to skip over all of that. Secondly, movies can, and most often do, have multiple genres. For example, The Lord of the Rings is a war, fantasy, adventure, romance movie, and probably has even more. There are a few things I'm going to do to remedy this and make it as easy to understand as possible. I condensed all genres into 4 main umbrella genres: drama, comedy, action thriller, and horror psychological thriller, where an action thriller is more like The Fugitive and psychological thriller is more like Gone Girl. All other genres become subgenres to couple with their main genre. For example, Spaceballs is a comedy sci-fi movie, while Arrival is a drama sci-fi and Star Wars is an action sci-fi. From there, it's still tricky because there's a countless amount of subgenres most films could fit into, so what I will be doing from there is generalize as much as possible with whatever subgenre fits best. Using the Lord of the Rings example, although it is all these subgenres, fantasy umbrellas most of the other genres and is therefore the most relevant. At this point you're probably asking, well John, why don't you just count multiple subgenres for films? Well, already adding a genre to a film is an extremely subjective process. Take a comedy-drama film like Silver Linings Playbook, for example. For some people, it'll be a hilarious movie about 2 people falling in love, learning to dance, and discovering new things about themselves. For others, it will be a hard-hitting drama about mental illness and its stigma in American society. So really, the best thing I can do is choose the singular genre that best represents the film as a whole, so as to have our results as accurate as possible. I understand this will skew the results a small bit, however they will be relatively within the same range that they would have been with multiple subgenres. I will link all the spreadsheets below so that you may review the data and comment which film genres I listed that you would change. Perhaps I'll update the data in a future video. Also, there's 546 Best Picture nominees. I am not doing multiple subgenres for each of them. So on to the meat of this video. What genres make up Best Picture nominees, not including this year's? Okay, Here is a graphical representation of what main genres all 546 Best Picture nominees are. As you can see, the Academy leans heavily towards dramas in their selection process, with over 2/3 of the films being dramas. Comedy comes in at a not at all close second, with action and horror thrillers trailing behind. Again, the entire purple section is a combination of horror and psychological thrillers. Only 5 pure horror films have ever actually been nominated for Best Picture. The Academy certainly does not consider genres such as action and thriller as Best Picture material, so much so that they almost created an entirely new category just for popular films. although that ended up getting ixnayed. You can argue that that's not what the category was originally meant for, but it's clear that that played a role of some sort. From there, we can break these genres down into subgenres, and again, keep in mind that these results might not be 100% accurate, but will still fall into an area of general correctness. Here you can see that I took the 4 main genres and split them into 18 subgenres. Again, these are all very subjective, but I did the best I could. As you can see, the Academy also has a heavy preference here, with over 1/5 of the 546 nominated films being romance films. One of the most popular Oscar-nominated genres, in fact, is the romantic drama, and that has certainly been proven true by the Academy many, many, many times. Historical and melodrama both are basically tied for second, and these genres also appear frequently in the Best Picture lineup. In fact, a very frequently nominated combo is the romantic drama set against a historical backdrop. While the Oscars certainly have become very predictable, in fact there's whole websites devoted to it, I will say I was a bit surprised by how the numbers turned out. For example, people constantly go on about how to win an Oscar you just need to make a Holocaust movie. There was even a joke about it by Kate Winslet, who would later end up winning an Oscar for that exact thing. However, in terms of Best Picture, only 8 Holocaust-themed movies have ever actually been nominated for Best Picture, which is a lot less than I thought. There are also a lot of musicals, 42 in fact, about 7.5% of the total nominees. There's a dense concentration of musicals between 1958 and 1972, where a large amount of the nominees were musicals. Just to add on, one more interesting fact about the Oscars, only 10 foreign films have ever been nominated for Best Picture. This has caused a bit of an outcry before, but that's a video for another day. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little short, but was just supposed to be a small compilation of interesting information. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.